Hello to everyone here in the group and eventually here on YouTube. I will explain. It's been a while. Hope everyone has had a great summer, and now that we're going into school, I have been so busy, and with that, been encouraged to share this with you. It's been very different for me. This whole time I have been so busy. Um, Shortly after the last live stream I did and finishing up the 12 days of Christmas, I put all the notes together and working on the book, and then it hit me. Who am I to write this, and who am I to share? Who would listen? These thoughts came to me, and then, quite frankly, the Lord just was so good. I mean, very clearly within my spirit, he said, own it. Own it. And so I thought about that for a while. Own it, because in sharing the 12 days of Christmas and giving that firsthand account, what he showed me in 1994, and then to go through each day and share something as he brought me to experience by the work of his hand, by his spirit. These are a part of my life, and in sharing the 12 days of Christmas, it is sharing my life as he brought me to experience and to share with all of you. And so with the words own it, to own my story, to own what he would have me share. Then I got onto Facebook to check on some things, and there was this ad came up on my feed, and it said, own your future. And that was just too ironic. So, of course, I was spiritually drawn to do this. It was a 5-day challenge. And with people I'd not heard before, and was not familiar with it. I hope it's okay to mention their names. Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. He's a thumper, to say the least. He's a thumper, like in the sign of Capricorn with the dolphin. Sonar telepathy, and just zones in on people and thumps those negative trigger points for people to receive the positive healing in their framework within their mind. Very interesting. So anyway, needless to say, I welcomed the challenge, and then of course I was told ahead of time they'd be promoting their program, and they did. It did come up, and it was very well done. And so it concerned me with the cost, and apparently it was less than what they usually do. But nonetheless, it was on me to join, and I didn't know how I was going to do this. So, but long story made short, I had a grandson that actually invested in me. And what a blessing. And so I went ahead and did it. And so I've been in this program, and I was told, here we go. I was so led to do this. And at the same time, with the need to get the book done and being concerned on how to promote it. And several pieces have come together for me with what I need to do. These are pieces that have been collected through the years as I've been quiet. And I'm just amazed at how everything goes together. But at the same time, in joining this mastermind team, it was to be told, the Lord did tell me it's not going to go in the way you're thinking. And my thought was learning new skill sets in marketing. And what happened, it's been very challenging. I've welcomed each challenge, whether I liked it or not. It's not always easy on our part, but with the need to speak up with what he'd have me share today in this hour. And so in that was the challenge to present myself full body. And, in marketing, I didn't realize, something I avoided through the years, how many of us here just assume be invisible, and yet we're in an hour, we all stand accountable, whatever we're called to do. And so for me, it's been to speak up and write as I've known to do. But in that is to present myself. And, for you to see me on the live stream, it's just headshot. And anyone who knows me personally, it is, I'm not right-handed. I wasn't born with a right hand. But those who are not familiar with me, I've avoided standing up in public as a speaker. And I need to explain this because when people, we're very conscientious on first impressions. And for me, it was to know that seeing me for the first time, it makes people uncomfortable. And if I was in their shoes, I would be too, I'm being honest. My dad taught me early on to always consider what it's like to be in someone else's shoes. So I always did, and so I always made it a point in putting forth twice the effort to make friends, but always to double up on the energy to put others at ease. And in that process, it caused me a dis-ease. So with what's going on now and getting ready with the book and setting up a publishing company, getting business done, there's been several things on my plate that I need to take care of. And so with that has been to stand up and take a full body shot, and go public with that in this group. I did share a picture of me in kindergarten with a hook. And it's interesting. I put together just a brief message in with these pictures that I shared in this community. The kindergarten class, my parents thought it best to have me fit for a hook before school started. So to fit in and be normal. Here we go with everybody's idea of normal. And I was so eager to make friends, and I explained this, but I spent many hours in kindergarten sitting in the corner with my back to the class, seen but not heard. And it's interesting in this community of business people and entrepreneurs, how many they're dealing with overcoming that fear of seen but not heard. And that's something I experienced at 5 years old. And, it's something that always affected me through the years, and I've got to tell you, for the people here in the group, to let you know, I explained as far as traveling the journey, going into places others wouldn't, but it is to explain, in covering the journey from beginning to end on the behalf of his people. It was the purpose. Here we go. And I explained this in the community. Well, I will share this in the group. I would appreciate healthy feedback. But I did explain, in sharing this story, it is to clear up misunderstandings. And for me, to not be right-handed, it was worked for me in ways that I or others would not have thought. It kept me focused. It kept me driven on the journey. And I am so thankful. I look back over the years now and I'm just amazed. I've just been in a spirit of awe while working on all these business matters. And yet here my business is very personal in nature, and I've been faced with my own personal issues on going public. It's been very interesting. So in that, like I said, I was encouraged to share this with you. And how many people just assume stay invisible? We need to do a reality check. We're in such a different hour, and we're all called in different ways. And there is something I would want to share, because there is another page I'll be adding on the website. It's needed, and it's to define spirituality with the flood of AI. And here we go. For those who are familiar with the 12 days of Christmas, he's had me repeat it quite often. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will raise up a standard against them. And so it did concern me with this flood of AI that started taking place in late spring through the summer. And it's interesting how he's walked me through that in what he would have me write. And so I will be, I'll let you know when I have that up on the webpage. It is to define spirituality and to address common navigational tools, ESP and Sixth Sense. These are common navigational tools for the common person, for each and every one of us. And it's been presented in such a way as if for the gifted and the special. And, we're all special. And with that said, I do need to say, we are like seeds planted in dirt. And it is to consider we all have dirt to deal with. And we're all challenged in different ways. And we come here on this earth, and we all deal with that surface thinking. And do we allow that to hold us back? And that's our biggest challenge. And I will explain more when I add this web page. I would like to think I get good feedback on that as well. But anyway, it is to share as things unfolded for me in this group and taking care of business. And, we're all personally challenged, and with the need to know how to respond to that dirt and to use, I'm sorry, I didn't finish that thought, common navigational tools that they've been disassociated. Here we go, service thinking, disassociated within the mind's eye as far as only for the gifted and special. But we're all special and we're all gifted. Not everyone has opened their package. So I do address this. It will be Spirituality Is, being that it's on real spirituality, and it's love-centered, in real relationship. And so I will address that. And it is to encourage others, to encourage you using those navigational tools. And I'll just say real quick, I just got through doing a short video for another group. Like I said, I've been very busy, but it is to explain for me what an interesting mix it's been for me with my parents. My dad, he had dreams. We built this dream house in Colorado. But for him, he was a visionary, but only on dreams. And anything other than that, anything and everything aside from dreams, was written off as crazy. And here we are, we're taught by the Holy Spirit comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But it's the natural-minded man, those stuck in that surface thinking, that write it off as crazy. And then my mom, here she was sneaking out and seeing a psychic in secret, and she wasn't a churchgoer. So between both my mom and dad, discussing God or any religion, it just wasn't open for discussion. So for me to travel the journey, relating my every need with the needs of others, it's, what I came to experience, it was for we, not me alone. I do need to clarify that, because what the Lord has me do now, it's been to focus in on myself, and it's been so foreign for me to do. It just seems to be second nature to so many. I've stayed so driven on the journey. And so it's been very different for me to take time for that self-care in ways I didn't realize, in ways that I wasn't doing. And as I said, in putting others at ease, it caused me a dis-ease. And so it's been very liberating to be able to post pictures of me. Those friends on Facebook, I already did it on my personal page, but that's why I did it. This is why I did it, and with nothing to hide. There's no hiding anymore. We're in such a extraordinary and unusual hour, and the things he would have me share is unusual and extraordinary. A lot of people, they're worried about the move of God and what's happening next, but we need to know where we are now. And so I'll be addressing that. Real quick, I am being led to start doing live streams on YouTube. I'll let you know. Maybe sharing links here. But just to give you an idea, I've tried to speak up and say something through time here, especially in the last year, for those in the group, that there were things coming down the pipeline here with Facebook, and they are stopping the live streams in October. I think it's in the first week of October, and they're going with just Reels. So I don't know how that will do for any live streams. I'm just giving you a heads up. So at the same time, it is to go do live streams on YouTube, which is interesting. I am really being pushed on going public, more public, and with the need to share on 12 days of Christmas. But the main thing here, for here in the group, and I don't know what part of this may be shared on YouTube, but it's to address common navigational tools that everybody has, and to be able to use that in to unblock that with the mental thoughts, to personally identify and recognize them within ourselves. And like I said, I'll be going over that. And I will be adding another page on the website. I did update some things on the website, different challenges in this group. So on that note, hopefully this isn't too long, but hope you have a great weekend. We will stay in touch. A warm welcome to any new members. I have noticed that. And I'm sorry it's been quiet. We need more interaction here. And hopefully, instead of being invisible, start sharing more and interacting here in the group. We do need to keep that. And I do apologize for those who have been here since December 2019. I made mention of having this website set up for Four Winds so we could have a private discussion other than Facebook. And then my daughter was killed, and I didn't realize 3 years have gone by, and I do apologize. But yet at the same time, I'm unsure, the timing. So here we go. And then with the need to get the book done, like I said, I have several things on my plate right now to take care of, and certainly didn't intend to ignore all of you. I know everybody's been busy through the summer, and at the same time, in presenting the 12 days of Christmas, there is so much in each day, and it's been very interesting for me to get this all under one cover. It's been very nice, very nice. So on that, have a great day, and as always, healing and health in Jesus' name, his miracle working power. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next week. I will let you know. See you then.